Alright guys, and we are back, and I'm going to go back into my save game. One thing, I don't know if you know it, but when you get into the game, alright, you come in right here. You've started a game, you've got stuff flying around in space, all that other good stuff. You always want to resume saved and go back to that one, because if you start a new one, it's going to wipe all your ships that you've created. It's going to wipe all your vehicles and stuff in space. And the only thing we have in space right now is our poor little lonely Kerbal that we took to the moon. And then some stuff that's leftover debris on the field, on the whatever you call it, launch pad. But these are the poor guys that we took to the moon and never got them back home. Maybe when we build a space station, we'll go rescue them. Anyhow, let's get out of this. Let's go back into the game. What we're going to do today is we're going to do a launch of the space thing that I built. And we're going to use mechjeb to fly it into space. Now, in order to get mechjeb to function, you have to remember, where's it at? I went back into that other guy's stuff, and I used his, and I modified it a little bit. There it is right there. I was having a lot of problems getting that one to fly straight. It just kept wobbling and flipping and whatnot. Now, the center mass and all this stuff, functionality you see down here to make sure it's all lined up, all said that it was good. But it would get about 100 feet into the air, and then the bottom would start swaying left and right and trying to keep it all aligned, and then it would snap loose right here. So what I've done is I've gone back to that guy's, the author of the KSS series. I can't remember his name, I'm sorry. But I am going to put a link in the bottom to actually a direct link to go get this if you want to. And then all you got to do is load one of his platforms and knock off this part right here that was right here. And then just start building your own stuff onto it, and then you launch whatever you want to into space. See, I put a top, you know, made my own little deal. But this is going to be my hub. It's got 2 crew transports, or two people parts containers. It's got a crew thingy that was in here, right there, lander can, and then so I can put some people in it, and then some other stuff. I don't want to waste a lot of time in here. You guys have seen this before, so let's get it on out there, and we'll get ready with mechjeb to launch it. Another thing in here, when you've got mechjeb installed, after you've gone to the launch pad with the ship and launched it one time and gone through the stages, your mechjeb vessel information will show up in here, and it'll show you thrust to weight ratios at each stage and all that other stuff, or at least the stages that you've flown. I only flew through a couple, so it's all freaky. But you got to successfully fly through it once in order for the mechjeb vessel information to show up right. Alright, let's go to launch. Let's clear the launch pad. Now, you're not going to believe this. I mean, I'm serious. This, to me, it takes a lot of the fun out of the game. But when you're doing stuff like what we're doing, talking about building a space station and all of that stuff, then I could see the usefulness of using some of this. Maybe. Alright, come on, lay it all out. Alright, there we go. We got her set and we're ready to go. Now, here's mechjeb. If this doesn't come up, you come over here, you click on mechjeb, and you go to the Ascent Autopilot. Click it, it'll pop up, and then you can close the mechjeb again. Now, you have to make sure that when you're in the structure, your building phase, that you put one of these mechjeb control things, and it's in the controls. Make sure that you put one of them on, or this won't show up. None of the mechjeb will. You have to put that on in order for mechjeb to show up. Now, you can put one little box on the side. It's not a big thing, not a big deal. You just throw it on there. Anyhow, first thing you do is click engage. That makes it set up. Set your altitude, whatever you want your orbit altitude to be. You put it in there. You don't have to mess with anything else, because all this will start just like you see it. At this point, it'll tell you it's awaiting liftoff. You can edit your path. What this is your gravity turns and stuff, your angulization or whatever you want to call it, to get you into space. You can move this, and decide what you wanted, but I don't know how to properly adjust all that stuff, so I'm just going to leave it at 40% like it is, and we'll close that with edit path. And then at this point, all you have to do is hit the space bar. Let's zoom out some so we don't get that big lag burst. But you hit the space bar and then just step back and watch. I mean, this bad boy's going to launch it into space. It's going to get you going. So you just kind of kick back and watch. Some of these ships have so many freaking parts on them that it just kills your frame rate, slows the game down, all that good stuff, but or bad stuff actually. But once you start dropping some of these parts, it starts speeding up, and everything looks pretty again. So now it's just a watching game. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to pause the video, And as soon as we hit, say about, well, no, let's just watch it. Why not? You can fast forward. I'm gonna put a fast forward marker right here that'll get us in the video. That'll get us into the next phase. But I want you to be able to watch that it's doing something. Now remember, I am not touching a single thing. I'm sitting here with my hands folded together, watching the screen, just like you guys. Bum, 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 bum. This thing will auto stage for you. It'll auto warp to the apoapsis. As you can see in the options, it'll automatically engage the throttle for you. So I didn't have to do nothing. I mean, literally, it popped up on the platform. I hit engage. It said it was ready, waiting for liftoff, and then I just hit the space bar to start it off. Now you got to make sure your stages are right. Make sure that, of course, that you're firing in the first stage, and that you're dropping your any things that you're holding yourself up with, the ship up with. But, you know, normal stuff. No big deal. So we're getting real close to dropping our first set of rockets, jumping into dropping that stage 6, I think. So we'll see. Now, I haven't launched this guy with mechjeb, but I'm pretty sure it should work fine. All right, we're getting ready for a gravity turn. Notice that state changed to gravity turn, and there it goes. It starts kicking over. It's going to take us up at the angle that I have had set. 90% of the time, it takes you at 90 degrees. So I think that's kind of the default. It tries to always set you at 90 degrees. So it's going to gravity turn rather. There we go. We're hitting 15,000 meters. Bunch of fuel left. And it's doing it all. I'm just sitting here. Like I said, I mean, some people, I guess, even myself, to be honest, probably, when I get beyond the point of needing to use this, or where I need to learn anything by doing manual takeoffs, I will probably start using this, because it's just, I mean, when you're good at something, when you figure something out, you don't have any problems taking stuff up, and it's just repetition, like with building a space station or something, then yeah, I could see using it. I guess maybe my opinion's changing on it. I don't know, because I've been playing so much, and I've launched so many vehicles, probably 30, 40, maybe even 50 vehicles into space, and the only problem with me is that I'm not doing anything. So fortunately I'm recording so I can sit here and talk to you guys while this is happening. But if I was just to be sitting here, I would probably hit the space bar, go out, get me a drink or something, you know, whatever, and then come back and, ho-ho, I'm in orbit. I couldn't sit here and watch it over and over again. I have to do it. You know, that's just me. I got to be hands-on. I got to get in there and have some fun. Or elsewise, I'll just minimize it. Let's go play some Don't Starve. You know, something. I got to be doing something. So we're hitting 42,000. Our angle is about 15, I think. 18. No, actually, we're dropping to 10 now. 10 degrees on the horizon. It's laying over. Getting ready to go through our next stage. It's about to drop all them rockets here in just a couple seconds. I say drop the rockets. No! There we go. All right, and we can hit the map, but you can do all your controls, everything. Just don't mess with your control shift. You know, things that involve flying. We can watch the apoapsis go up. I mean, literally, this bad boy just gets you all the way where you want to be, and then once it gets the apoapsis set at whatever you've set your orbit altitude, it stops the throttle, flies to the apoapsis, sets up to set your periapsis, and shoots it so that it extends your periapsis out. I mean, this thing does, like I said, it literally puts you in as close to a circular orbit as it can. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Watch now, it's about to shut down. And there it goes. It just killed the engines, and it jumped into time warp. Bump, bump, right at 250,000, 250.243 something, whatever. And it can't warp any faster than 1 because the ship's on. There we go. Now it's going to warp me to it. I'm not doing anything, guys. I'm just looking. Let's bring this up. You'll see that it's lining up for its reverse burn, or its burn towards periapsis, or whatever. Now it's not showing me the periapsis on here, of course, because it doesn't. But that's what it's doing. It's going to do that straight fly to the Earth type deal, and it's going to extend the periapsis out now to 250,000 or close. As close as it can. Remember, it's just a computer program. We can move this stuff out the way. And let's watch and see, because it's getting ready to burn. You can go back in and watch. It's lining up. It'll start burning right before it's perfectly lined up. There it goes. Told you. And then there it goes, and then it'll burn. That's because it jerks past and then it comes back. So let's go inside and watch, and you'll see that it's extending the periapsis out and trying to get them perfect, and it should stop. And then right there, if you look, it disengages. Everything stops. So we are successfully in a 250,000 degree orbit. Really close. We are set up at, I had 0 inclination, so it's perfect. This guy, remember, I brought him back, so of course he's going to be all screwy. Now I can use this on every part that I shoot up into space, and then set the next ones at like 240,000 kilometers, and then they'll have an inner orbit, and then I can very easily connect them up with the next piece, to bring it in and do a rendezvous with the station, and be good to go. So that's how you use the mechjeb component. Now there's a lot more stuff you can do with this, which I'll go over a couple things. Like you can go into the smart ASS, right? All right, this will kill my rotation. That'll basically stop any rotational effect that's going. You leave that enabled, or you can turn it off. You just hit off. But I can hit kill it, and it's almost like using the what is that called again? The SAS. It does it for you and keeps you in line like that. Now I've got some more stuff to do with this guy, of course. I mean, I've got to disconnect, decouple, and then throttle all this stuff back home, which I plan to do. But that's it. That's the end of this one. Now I've got this piece right here in space, which I could have dropped that had I done it manually. But there are ways to get rid of this stuff, this space debris, if you don't want it in space. And I guess we can go ahead and do that real quick. Let's get rid of all this, because I don't want any of this. I want to do this all manual. All right, so what we need to do now is we need to, let's see. All right, we need to bounce through the next thing. So let's see. That one right there. Ooh, that one's going to pop the next one. Somehow I ended up putting that in the wrong. Yep, that one's in the wrong thing. But that's all good and good, because all you got to do is click it and drag it and put it in the other thing. All right, so what's that? That's that rocket's going still. You can go through this here. That's them little rockets. Okay, so when I stage, it's going to shoot that back. And there it goes. Separates that. Them little rockets make it fly away, which is pretty cool. I like how he did that. Keeps you no slowness, no worrying about collisions, no worrying about it catching up with you, because it's just shooting away from you now. Now, what you would do if this, since this is the first part, all I have to do now is break the next part free. I actually want to add another and move. Let me see. I want to bust that one. So I need to move this one up. And now when I pop it, it should pop that little one and break me completely free. If I can get it to work. I can't get it to work. Alright, let's try doing this one instead. Move the little one up and see what happens. There we go. Now I can... So I still got that hooked. I guess I did it wrong. I set it up wrong. Oh well, I'll just redo it in the off time. I need to figure out a way to get that guy to disable. Oh, wait, no, I bet I can do this. Oh, yes, sir, I can. And I need to break that one free. No. Wrong vehicle. That vehicle. There's nothing connected to it, that's why. Okay, I got to fix that in the space shop. I need to put something there. That way I can disconnect that, decouple that. Not a big deal. All I need is one of these, but the flat ones, the little ones. And then I'll just put it right in between them two. And then, booyah! So I'll bring this back up into space. Anyhow, what I was going to show you, last part of this video, so that we can keep these videos kind of short, is, dun, 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 dun. Remember, left and right bracket shifts you back and forth between things that are close to you. Basically, you'd set your burn up now for this guy to enter orbit and then launch out if you wanted to go through all that, which I will, but I'm not going to in this video. You can just hit M, go into here, go over here, add you a little maneuver deal, and then set up his thing to connect with the planet. You can set it up to connect wherever you want to. Right there's the actual port. So let's do that. And then you would see that it's going to take a 10-second burn. So we disable our SAS, line up, da, 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 da. And I've put RCS all over these vehicles so that they're easy to control from now on. I'm tired of struggling in fighting vehicle control and turn. Alright. Then you would just fast forward. Come on, come on. Waiting. Alright, so you get close. Alright, we got a 10-second burn, so I'm going to do 5 out, 5 in. 14, 13, 12, 11. So remember, start about a second and a half early because it takes you that long to get your throttle all the way up. I think that there's a way to get it all the way up to max throttle because I've seen that program mechjeb doing it. Oh, good golly. Did I not stage? Oh, I did not stage. There we go. Alright, so it's a longer burn than I thought, but it's not too long. We can kick around over here and see and watch, and whenever that crosses, we'll stop it. When it gets closer. Right there. Oops, I hit the wrong dadgum button. So that's fine. What we'll do is this. Get rid of that. 1. And then let's fly this way some. Alright, that should put us pretty dadgum close to the space station. Not dead on. Well, let's go a little bit more throttle then. See. I want to go a little bit into the water. There we go. Alright. Remember, your parachute's going to slow you down some, so you want to go a little further when you're trying to do these direct landings and stuff. So there we go. That ought to work. We'll see. Wait, yeah, I did the blue, right? I was going the blue line. Yes, I was. Get rid of this. All right, so let's go on ahead and fast forward. It's going to automatically slow you down once you get too close to the Earth. See there? 51. And it's just because you can only go 4x at that point. Uh-oh. Yeah. So let's uh-oh. That wasn't supposed to happen. I hate that thing. It happens always at the wrong time. I'm basically flying, setting my thingy. There we go. I'm going to set it up a little bit past these islands. And then I can kind of control it. You just got to kind of watch to see where you're going, because it doesn't accurately predict it for some reason. Not properly. There we go. Get it on up, boys. Give me some juice. About to run out of fuel, I'm sure. Huh? Got a little bit left. Yeah, we're going to come up way short. I ain't figured out that part yet, but anyhow, let's get on in here and let's undo our SAS. Trying to control this thing, it's just ridiculous. But you want to turn it towards your Apple axis. Now we're at 19,000 feet, so we still got plenty of time. Or I mean your reverse angle, whatever you want to call it, with the direction you're going, the reverse of the direction you're going. You turn towards the reverse, pop your button. That gets your ship out. That way that don't push you. And we're coming down, 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 diggy, diggy, down, down, diggy, 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 down. We're going to land on the planet. 9, 8, 7. You hit the space bar again to deploy your parachutes. And I'm going at 4x. That way you guys don't have to watch it be all slow. Poof. Poof. And we will land. Dun, da, da, da. Little off target, but you know. Hey, at least we're alive. Bonk. Now we can go over here. We can say, hey dude, come on out, man. Come on down. Back out down. Back out down. Where's the banana? It looked like a little monkey running around. All right, there we go. Now, last thing that I was wanting to show you, let's go to Space Center. Now, from here, this little dish, you can go up into space and you can see all your stuff. Like I got this guy, yeah. All right, I don't want none of this up there, but you have to fly to an active thing in space, and because you can't just like, sometimes you can, but like if I click that satellite, okay, sometimes it'll let you. So there, I've left of this. I'm into this now. All right, now I can go to Space Center, go to this deal. And anything that's got an orbit, anything that's active, that stuff's all on the planet. But you can click it, and it'll show it up over here in your list. There's KSS Main Hub T1 probe. You can click this abort and terminate, and poof, it's gone. Get that one, the Main Hub T1 ship. Make sure you got the right thing done, because once you do this, there's no putting it back. Terminate, done. Remember, we needed to change that decoupling ring anyhow. You can click on that. Clean up all this crap. They're done. Dilton Kerman, the feller I left out. You could literally walk him to the hub, to the space station if you wanted to, but yeah, we're not going to do that. The only thing I want left is my apogee mem. Now notice that there's stuff that you can't select. Sometimes there will be stuff, way back over here that doesn't have an orbit. It's just space junk. You can click it. Sometimes you can go in and cancel it. Sometimes you can't. If you can't, I found that if you go into space, into another vehicle, then you bring up your map, and then you double-click it, it'll let you double-click it and shoot to it, and then you can just hit escape and go to in-flight, and then that'll put it away. But never in-flight on a vehicle you want to leave into space, because if you hit in-flight, it's like saying, all right, well, let's just get rid of this, delete it. All right, there you go. Journal entry 8, complete. Hope you guys had fun, learned something. We're going to, I'm going to continue. I'm going to fix that. I'm going to go ahead and throw it back up into space off camera. And you'll see the next video will be me attaching something to that. So we'll see you then. Hope you had fun.